Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really got the heat.
Look at Dariush. Look at Dariush's body language. Look at how he's kind of loose.
Ooh.
That's the kick. Even though the kick hit the arm, but look at how uncomposed he is.
Yeah, he was so
head high.
there.
His chin. We talked about it.
That over the top hurts Dariush, you know. That was the good part too, you know. Charlo's not trying to do jiu-jitsu there. He was
But you can see it. Yeah. He had nothing. There's 50 seconds left. Yeah, Brazil,
baby, let's go. Yeah. Favela venceu, cara.
Hey. So what's up, everybody? Henry Cejudo here, aka Triple C, and welcome to this episode of UFC Aftermath. I'm your host, that's right, Henry Cejudo, and this is brought to you by the one and only Jimmy Bars, a non-gluten-free bar that is taking over the MMA and the sports market by storm. When you guys want a Jimmy Bar, you guys make sure to go to local Walmart or your local store near you. Breaking down UFC 289. Let's start off with the co-main event. Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. I have none other the future rising star right now, Bruno de Silva, top 15 flyweight in the world, and we're going to be breaking down UFC 289, Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira. What can I say about this fight? I think I feel like Beneil Dariush had the fight in the beginning, had the fight the way the fight should have probably gone. You know, him on top, him raining down some certain things, but he ended up allowing Charles Oliveira to get up. I mean, Beneil Dariush, when Charles Oliveira did go for the guillotine or whatever it was, they ended up in this position. He ended up pulling guard somehow. They ended up going to the ground. I mean, this is where Beneil Dariush should have probably taken some notes from a guy like Islam Makhachev, using the crazy ground and pound, controlling heavy up top of the body here, just not making him breathe. But because he stayed more inside the guard, Charles Oliveira was able to swivel his hips to eventually get back up to his feet, to eventually press his opponent and then bring the fight. And then we saw Beneil Dariush's composure completely change, where he was a little too wobbly. But what it really was that really got him, it was that head kick. That head kick that wobbled him, that allowed him to get his infamous hook to eventually drop him, to get him top. And this is what I love about Charles, what he didn't play against. What I'm saying is he's learning, rather than him looking for a submission, he decided to just rain some punches on him. Rain all day. Purple rain, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to get the finish. Stylistically, sometimes tactically, if fighters don't fight the perfect fight, they'll lose. And Charles Oliveira did a good job of, once he got up, of pressing Beneil Dariush and bringing the fight to him, to eventually making him fight his fight and getting the finish. Bruno de Silva, you got 2 cents on this fight?
Yeah. You know, after you you scramble there on the grappling, after that you sometimes fighter have waiting a little bit, you know, he wants to move, so Charles not giving that time for him, was pressuring right away. So I think that was a little mistake by Dariush. Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. I think looking at it now, what is it that Charles Oliveira is going to have to do against a guy like Islam? Is Charles Oliveira going to play the jiu-jitsu game and stay on by him, or is he going to get up like he did against Beneil Dariush? Will Charles Oliveira, when he does get taken down, will he be able to use his elbows, boom, punches, to be able to create space to get up to his feet and then keep it here? I think the other questions that I do have for a guy like Charles Oliveira is, will Charles Oliveira play this boxing range against a guy who has great wrestling, against a guy who's going to eventually shoot? You know, the adjustment that Charles Oliveira needs to do if he does fight a guy like Islam Makhachev once again, is he's going to have to be more in that kicking range, because he's going to be able to see the takedowns coming, so as his opponent level changes, he's going to be able to step back. He's gonna be able to step back, come back with either kicks or punches of his own. But if Charles decides to bring shoot boxing to a guy like Islam Makhachev, he's going to get hooked or he's gonna get taken down. So these are things that he needs to watch out for. You know, is he the number one? He is the number one contender. Does he deserve that title shot? He does deserve that title shot. He's beat all the top 5 fighters in the world, and he's stopped all of them. I mean, that says a lot about Charles Oliveira. If he's able to come back and actually beat Islam Makhachev and then do it and then finish him, you would have to call him the greatest lightweight of all time, you know, ahead of any of those guys because of who he's beaten and how he's done it and how he's finished all of them. Bruno?
Let's go, Charles, for the title again.
And there you have it.
Baby, right?
He's a man of few words, but that is the breakdown. These are the adjustments that more likely a guy like Charles Oliveira is going to have to make in order for him to retain that belt once again. And now let's get straight to it. The main event of the evening. Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Guys, you know, sometimes I'll say it again, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. If you don't bring the fight, if you don't have a good technical or tactical game plan, doesn't matter who you are, you won't beat, even if your strength is so much greater. I mean, Aldana just didn't show up. I mean, she was like, being starstruck is a real thing. And those are things that you're gonna have to be careful with because you can only respect your opponent so much before it really starts to take over your own being of athleticism, you as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like Aldana, this is all she did. She didn't do anything. I just don't know who is it that actually showed up. I mean, if this is heavy stance wide, and this was her the whole time, yep, which allowed Amanda Nunes just to tee off. You know, just to tee off, the front kicks up the middle, boom. Like she was just, there was nothing for her to do. And I don't even think it was physical, but because since the beginning of the fight, Irene Aldana didn't do anything. Like nothing. Like she's gonna go back and watch that fight, and you know, the fighters don't come out of when they do horrible. It's almost like if she's not careful, she can like stay in this rut or this like spiral of something just messing with her. So I hope she comes out of it. I hope she learns from that mistake that she just did on Saturday night. But, I mean, there was nothing. I mean, it was a complete beatdown. It was a punching bag for Amanda Nunes. I want to break it down somehow physically, but there's really nothing to really break down. Irene Aldana just did not show up. Bruno?
Yeah, Amanda start to, you know, so experienced, start to recognize Aldana's not bringing the fight, start dominate in every single area. So she's a dominate, like you said. If you don't bring a fight against the champ, you're gonna get beat.
Yeah, do you think it was mental?
Kinda, I feel like, because other fights she was like walking forward, bring the fight, probably, you know, he feel the pressure, title fight, can be, man, believe it, you know, because mental was like 90%, you know, everything here, right?
Yeah. Well, there you have it, the breakdown. Amanda Nunes did a really good job in the beginning of messing with her, of those lead legs, and then kicking that front leg, and then when it came closer to the 4th and 5th round, the takedown started coming. You know, ending the 5th round off the takedown and really putting a hurting to her. I'm surprised the referee wasn't warning Irene Aldana to actually stop the fight, even on its feet. I mean, this is a perfect game plan for the Lioness. I was wrong about this fight. Irene didn't show up. I think if she would have showed up, I just don't know. But because it's not realistic. But stylistically, I thought it'd be a different fight. But this is why I don't bet. This is why I don't bet on... anyways, it is what it is. That's your breakdown for UFC 289. I want to give a big thanks to our sponsor. That's right, Jimmy Bar is a non-gluten-free bar. That is a great meal replacement. I was able to make weight easily at UFC 288 because of Jimmy On. So you guys make sure to go get your Jimmy On. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C, along with Bruno Alakazam da Silva, and we are